Okay, so I'll read you the rules again very quickly.
Okay.
No crashes. So this is the third gear layout challenge. No crashes. After the wall, we begin the challenge, okay? So
Okay.
exactly what you did now, you pass through the grass like this. That's like a zero, like we failed the test. You crash on the wall, we failed the test. Pretty much, if you cut through the grass or you step on the grass with big portion of the car, like let's go with like two tires or like a major part of the car, that's like a no-go. Here, dropping one tire a little bit on the grass and stuff, you know the places that I consider fine, so you can do them without a problem, but hitting the wall is a no-go. And also diving into the grass and so on is as well a no-go. Spinning out and stuff, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, right? So
Yes.
for the people that are watching, the third gear layout challenge is the last challenge. There's one optional, more harder, but this is the final challenge that I do as a total skill check, total throttle steering, a skill check here, which combines all the techniques and all the knowledge we've learned from the donut, that is controlling the car, how to maintain the drift, also the things from figure eight, how to get closer to the walls, how to basically transition from one side to another, do the manjis, and also the dive loop, diving into corners with big angles and so on. So you need to really understand how to use your throttle to control the grip, controlling the trajectory, going tighter, wider, and also controlling the angle as well to slow you down or to speed you up, and as well control the trajectory. This also requires very, very good understanding of inertia, how to use it, because we're only using throttle. There's no brakes, there's no handbrake, there's no clutch holding. It's only throttle. And that's extremely hard. It might look easy, and he might make it look easy, but this is extremely hard. So this is definitely also giving me some heat moments for me a lot of times. So every time I question my muscle memory, I come and I do this. And trust me, I'm getting cancer as well when I do that. It's hard with only throttle. So far, so good, Julius. I'm gonna shut up now. You're on probably 4 laps. I want you to focus. Remember the long corner. Think of each corner as like a step. If you want to succeed, remember, think of each corner on each visual cue, each section as your initiation point. If your approach is bad, then every next corner is gonna be a bad link. It's like a chain reaction. Make sure
Okay.
each section you do it right, and you set up yourself for success every single time. That's how consistency works. There you go. Gradually, and you avoid the snap. So very good call. If you realize where the car was going, that the car's trajectory was gonna go onto the wall, you were going to crash. If you realize that like a second later, you were definitely crashing on the wall. Very good job, man. Really.
Yes.
I love to see this driving senses clicking to you, like you just realizing stuff before they happen. I'm so happy about this. Oh, careful. Awesome. There you go. Gradual. I love that. I know you can do this perfectly. I've seen you in the practice. I know you're a bit pressured now. Don't worry, bro. Like there's
A
nothing to
little
panic.
bit.
Yeah, use the weight transfer. There you go. Relax. Let's see how you deal with this situation. Careful. Use the inertia. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Learn how to use the inertia to your advantage,
Yeah.
to let the car slide
Yes.
out. Most people would have handbrake there. Most people would have brake there. Like, that's how you use throttle and steering only. That's what I'm talking about, man. Learning the absolute, squeezing the maximum potential of the car. Don't forget. There you go. I even forgot what, like, which lap were, probably ninth or 10th. So do one more, and then if you wish, we can do one more victory lap. What do you think about this? No, not
One
gonna
more
just
what?
victory lap.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Don't screw this up. Don't distract yourself. Gonna shut up.
I try to.
Don't forget. All right. Do your victory lap. If you want, you can even do reverse in the corner. Doesn't matter what happens. Whee! Yes, Lord. Ah, you remember from the dive loop. Very good. That's why we do the fucking dive loop. So you learn how to reverse. And you can do even bigger reverses slowly. We'll get into this.
Yes.
Inertia, inertia. Oh, that's the wall. So that's why you build a lot of momentum and you let it slide out a little bit. You could lower the power so you can grip up gently. You don't have to grip up super fast. So I told you, like, if I plug the wheel right now, 100% honest, and you've seen it happen, I told you, this looks, because there were challenges when I've warmed up on whatever, I go and drive it, I make it look easy, right? And like you think,
Yes.
oh, you know what? This actually, like, this looks easy. And then you plug the wheel, you come in, and you're like, oh my god, this is absolute nightmare. This is cancer. So you know that, and I'm telling you this with absolute 100% certainty. If I plug my wheel now on my sim setup and I come to do this challenge, I will f up this challenge probably 10 times in a row until I warm up on my, brain, muscle memory, everything clicks in. This is not easy by any means, especially troll only. So, really, huge respect. I'm so happy that we've passed this, and now we can move on to all the advanced stuff. We're gonna add the brake. We're gonna add the clutch. Don't be like, don't think we're gonna add the handbrake yet. F the handbrake. The handbrake is gonna
I
come
think yeah for
later.
now.
So, don't rush with the handbrake. I want you to
Ah,
know when to. Here's my. Okay, I'll explain. I don't want you to be confused. Why? It's not because, like, oh, like, I don't want you to use handbrake and handbrake is bad and stuff. No, no, no. Handbrake is amazing. Handbrake is great. Handbrake is wonderful to use when I know you're ready. I want to teach you the right way, because long ago I used to teach people the wrong way. And because of you guys, I'm becoming better and better and better at coaching. So as you get good students, you become better students. You also help me become a better teacher, because long ago I used to teach this third gear layout with the brakes. So what happens is, the people, they won't do the challenge as you do it now. They will do it with the brakes. So they didn't learn the absolute maximum how to use the inertia of the car, how to do the weight transfer, so they can, manipulate the car to slide itself out and so on, build more momentum, and use the inertia to your advantage to control the trajectory, to pass wider and so on. And they would just floor the car, and they're like, but the car is going tighter and so on. Like, the car, why is it going tighter? Because you're sitting on the RPM limiter. The car wants to straighten out. You have to fight with the wheel and so on. And that's why. But when we started using the weight transfer a little bit and modulations and using the inertia to our advantage, what happened? You find out that you can actually squeeze way more space and go and pass way more distance than you could, right?
yes.
At the beginning, you were literally going into the grass. Like, how is it possible to pass the long corner? Then you learn, okay. So we started to learn even more in depth about the angles. shallowing up, going wider, but builds more speed. So you enter with a smaller angle and gradually build it up. So the bigger angle will start to pull you tighter because you're already passing halfway, you're in the middle of the long corner and you got to prepare for this tight turn around the wall, so you're going to increase the angle so it tightens the trajectory. The car looks more towards the inside of the track and it's going to pull you tighter. And also the bigger angle helps you to restrict the speed, kill a bit of the momentum because it's bigger angle, bigger resistance, and it slows you down, helps you to cut off some of that speed that is driving you towards the wall. Obviously, the higher the speed, the wider the trajectory. The slower you are, the tighter the trajectory. So you learn so much goddamn things on this layout here on its own. So I want to hear from you now. And I was going to tell you, yeah, I think actually I did explain about the handbrake, why I don't want you to jump on it, right? Because I want now, as you learn the maximum potential of throttle and steering, how to use the throttle, how to use the steering, and together, and all the rest of the stuff, I want you now to learn the maximum potential of the brake, and then to learn the maximum potential of the clutch, and then finally, when you add the handbrake, you don't even think when you need to use the brakes. You don't even think when you need to use the clutch. You don't even think when you need to steer or use the throttle or use the different modulations. You can finally focus on the handbrake mainly, and that will allow you to learn tremendously faster than before. Because why? Because now you're not pressuring your brain to focus on all these things that maybe you haven't mastered, like when to brake, when to clutch, and like where am I on the track and so on. And we've worked how to learn the tracks a little bit with you, but now we're gonna dive way more advanced on how to learn tracks and things. But now, since I told you and you know all this, I want to hear your perspective of what you think about all the challenges all together, on which challenge that you did before, which layout, like the donut, what do you think the donut, and what do you think the figure eight, and what do you think the dive loop helped you to pass this one? And what was the main difference of this one? How do you feel?
Okay, like starting with donut challenge. That is one that take more time for pass, like learning from scratch. And first challenge happened before, like, if I can remember good, 5 months. But I learned so much on donut. What I say in challenge video is learns basics on donut, but it's very important basics. Without basics, I think I can did nothing right here in third layout.
Because you need to know
And
how to hold the car sideways,
yes,
right? And all the other stuff.
yes, car control, throttle control, steering, all in one. Like all challenges what I passed, I learned something from here. Like what I need to use in this layout.
Well,
Like the dive loop is U-turn is pretty much same. Little bit different is bigger, but it's pretty much same. It's safe multiple times. I mean, right here for not going in the grass, and when I learn dive loop.
what do you think the
And
figure eight has helped you?
figure eight helped me a lot on holding angle, like from long corners, riding wall, and so on. Like uh, holding angle, and I need turning car, modulating, steering too. Like all challenges came here. Here is one big challenge. Like I can say from all what I passed. Like I need to use all and more
Do
in
you
this
think the
challenge.
I have a bit of a side question for you. Do you think the figure eight has helped you with the manjis, or you think the dive loop helped you with the manjis on the long straight, or this was something that was kind of unique and nothing really prepared you for that?
It help a lot. Like figure eight maybe helps from slow managers, like slower transitions. In dive loop, I think here is one fast, more fast transitions. Like
Yes,
I learned from both. Like is helping to very very helping. Like from learning things. It's
yes.
small things that think is can be very useful, but it's hard.
Exactly. And why the reason why I build these layouts in my head is because here you have the figure eight, you have a very wide space, and you have you have quite more time to transition. You can take yourself a bit slowly, relax. So, way more space to cover, way more distance, way more
Yes.
space to use. So like a bit slower transitions and a bigger distance. While dive loop, you have this mixture now where it will at first it will completely confuse your brain. Like you have slow speed, big angle, quick, a bit sharper corners. Like right, left, right, and then you have a bit longer corner that suddenly turns almost mimicking the wall on the figure eight, and
Yes.
this kind of helps you and prepares you for these here, even though the third gear layout is pretty much just a long distance with a lot of speed. What I think happens is the figure eight allowed you at some portions of the track, mainly I think coming off the wall, back to this to dive here with big angle onto where you
Yes.
at, maybe to get a little bit of a glimpse how it looks the third gear layout, because you kind of build a bit higher speed around this section, kind of almost the same, similar. So, in a nutshell, yeah. Sorry for introducing, but you really, really described it super accurate, super well. So, in a nutshell, what do you think of the third gear layout? As my final question, how do you feel passing the
Yes,
channel?
it's
What did you
very
think you learned here?
yeah. As first all, I need to say it's very hard. It's not looks that hard when you need to do this. Very hard. Learn, yes. Third gear. First, I never drift in third gear. This is very very different from second. It's very different. Yes, Alka reacting very faster, way faster than in second gear. In second gear, you have too much time, like in transitions. It's not straightening out that fast and so on. And what I learned more in third gear, I think extending drift, holding angle in long corners, speed, like control car in more speed, and overall controlling car, like when I need to go shallow, I go shallow. When I need to slow, I force more angle. That's what I struggling here, and I learned that finally.
So, in a nutshell, to summarize, you learn how to use higher gear, more powerful third gear, and you
Yes.
have to now that forced you to deal with the car reacting way more aggressively. So you learn more
Yes.
control over a little bit more aggressive car, and also now you have to deal with way higher speeds. That means whenever you go and like you build this massive speed here, you gotta the dive loop taught you how to go into a massive angle. So you're applying the big angle that you usually come in here, whoop, and then you power it, and then you suddenly just snap the car and go around this donut around 90 degrees. Sometimes I remember you were going even reverse entry, sometimes full ham. And that prepared you for this big angle entry here, 90 degrees to reverse on this U-turn here. You had to get used to washing off entering with big angle, but this time with way higher speed than the dive loop because you're in a higher gear. Another thing, how to recover actually from this big angle, because now you don't have this small space, this little donut. Now you have this wide corners and this straight where you have to manage it with a very small angle to build the speed back up. So you had to learn how to kill speed, wash speed off, and build speed back again. Lose momentum, build momentum. Then you had to learn whenever you top out the gear right here, staying full throttle on this manji here. Let's start with the manji. On this straight here, you manji full throttle and you force transitions by returning the wheel yourself, by using the steering wheel yourself. And when you go to this long corner, you enter with a super small angle and you will usually go super tight like this. But if you know how to do the weight transfer with a bit of modulations, force the inertia and let the car slide itself, you will pass a bit wider following like these skid marks here. So you learn a lot about weight transfer. You learn a lot about controlling your angle, when to go in a bit bigger angle, and how to also go gradually to not snap the car. So using your angle to either build momentum, speed yourself up, or slow yourself down. Controlling the trajectory, everything helps out. Like when you grip up, car slows down, was gonna go tighter. When you build the angle up, the car looks more towards the inside of the track. The more the inside the car looks, the more the inside it pulls you, tighter trajectory. So I think all this that you learned here is extremely important to prepare you for tracks, because if you know how to control the trajectory, everything that you learned here, you will go and apply it into any new track that I will put you on. And I already saw how you drive the drift playground, and I already saw you how to drive the Brooklyn Park, and you have a very good damn sense on how to push yourself wider, tighter when you need bigger angle or smaller angle, without even watching a video from other people, or like how to drive this track, or watching maybe my video, whatever, on the track. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's very, very true.
It came naturally to you. So that what I want to say. If you have any final words.
No, I need to say very, very thank you for being with me for now, and I think we can learn so much
Yes.
together.
Now there's one more. There's a couple of things I want to teach you finally before we jump to the brake and the clutch, and that will be the difference in modulations. I see you're very comfortable with like mid-range modulations around the 30 to 50, and then from 50 to I guess 70, or like from like almost low, like around the middle area, like 35-40% range of throttle, up to 100. You're very comfortable moving this range of like 10-20, moving this zone there, like mid or high end. But making the range massive is what I want to jump next, because I see you're not comfortable with doing massive modulations where it's almost like, it looks like stomping the pedal, but as it might be super bad for beginners, there are moments where even the thing that might look bad in general is good to be done. When you need to slow yourself down and you're working with like very low speed, you got to do very quick room, 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 room. Sometimes modulations to keep not only the drift going because you're low on speed, the car will straighten out, and preserve the angle and keep the car in drift. So that's, I think, the only final thing that we got to work on. And then I have one optional layout if you decide, which would be the 360 layout that I can give you here. It's a bit complicated. It's very fun, but I think you really enjoy it. But we're going to move to tracks very soon. We're going to cover the brakes and the clutch. So that's in a nutshell. I want to congratulate you for passing this. This is by any means not easy. If I jump to drive this now, I'll goddamn fail miserably. It's no doubt. Like I'm, I can admit this. I'm not scared to admit this. Not shy. I will miserably fail. I'll definitely be, even if I pass it. Look, even if I give myself the benefit of the doubt, if I pass it, the car will be shaking left, right. I'll be jumping from angles, a lot of corrections. It's not going to be smooth. I'm telling you, I've done this test to myself, and if I don't practice like crazy, like you do, like doesn't matter who you are, if you don't put the practice in, you pay the price, right? So
Yes,
you know this very well. So cheers,
yes,
bro.
that's true.
I'm looking forward into what's to come, and for us to practice more stuff and you to
Okay,
learn more.
thank you very much.